So what you're looking at here, it's not just some old document. It's a map. But instead of showing you roads or cities, it maps out a human legacy, an entire family's history, all laid out. This is our explainer on the Srambickal Pallathitta family tree.
And that begs the question, right? How do you even begin to take hundreds of lives, all those relationships, all those generations, and turn them into something you can actually see and understand at a glance? Well, the answer is kind of complex, but it's also beautifully simple.
And here it is. I know, at first glance, it just looks like this crazy, dizzying web of names and connections. But try to think of it more like a living thing. This isn't just a chart, it's literally the blueprint of a legacy, where every single line is a relationship and every name is another chapter in the story.
So, to find our way around this map, we first have to learn its language. But don't worry, it's actually wonderfully simple once you see the logic behind it all. Okay, the very first key is the letter G. It's super simple. It just stands for generation. So G1, that's the very beginning. G2 represents their children. G3, their grandkids, and, well, you get the picture. It's the one thing that anchors us in the family's timeline. And everything else just follows two basic rules. A horizontal line that connects a couple, a vertical line that drops down from them. That line points to their children. That's it. I'm serious. With just those two simple lines, this entire massive history just unfolds before your eyes. All right, so now that we've got the rules down, let's actually put them to use. We're going to go all the way back to the very top of the tree and meet the founders, Generation 1. Right at the very top, we find them. Cholakatel Varki and his wife, Mariama. This is Generation 1. It's kind of wild when you think about it. Every other name on this entire map, every single branching story, all of it starts right here, with just two people. And from that one couple, the three main branches of the family got their start. Their children, Kurian, Paravat, and Reverend Father Abraham, they formed that second generation, and it's really through them that this whole lineage began to expand. You know, to really appreciate how this chart works, let's not just look at it from a distance. Let's get right up close and personal and trace one single unbroken line of descent through the generations. It'll make it all click. Let's drop right into Generation 4 with this couple here, Ipara and Unyanam. You'll notice they're part of the Mamala Pallathinkal branch, which is a great example of how different family lines start to develop their own distinct identities within the larger tree. Okay, so following that line down from them, we arrive at their son in Generation 5, Ipora Tharakan, and his wife Anama. Just like that, with one simple move, we've jumped forward in time. And we go one generation further, and we find their son, Varki Tharakan, in Generation 6. See? In just 3 quick steps, we followed a clear, unbroken path across 3 generations. It's that simple to follow. Now just imagine that simple 3-step journey we took. That same pattern of parent to child to grandchild descent. Just imagine it repeating over and over and over across dozens of different branches. That's how this incredibly rich and complex history gets woven together. Okay, so now that we understand the blueprint and we've kind of walked through a single hallway, it's time to step back and just appreciate the sheer scale of this entire structure. This says it all, really. On the left, you see that simple, humble beginning with that one couple. On the right, that's just a fraction of the family tree, generations later. It's like a visual explosion of lineage. It shows you how a single root system can grow into a vast, sprawling forest. And this one tree has its own major neighborhoods, you could say. As the generations went on, major offshoots started to form, like the Karapilil and the Chatharuti branches. And each one of those is a huge story in its own right, all nested inside this larger family saga. So just how deep does this family map go? In total, it documents 11 distinct generations. I mean, just think about that for a second. 11 layers of history, all connecting those original founders to the present day. That's a truly incredible feat of family record-keeping. And you know, a project of this size doesn't just happen. At the bottom of each page, you see the credit, compiled by Tumby Matthews. This entire historical document is the result of just immense dedication and passion. a real gift to the family he's so carefully chronicled. And that kind of brings us to a final thought. Seeing the Srambickal Pallathitta family mapped out so clearly like this, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Every family has a story just as rich, a web of connections stretching way back through time. So what does yours look like?